Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I have had such a great day today. I got up really early, and I have gotten so much accomplished today. I feel fantastic about that. I even did a video on my Peter Does Stuff channel, so go check it out. It is little Tucker going through and showing all of his favorite toys, and Boo Radley talking about his adventures of the world. So go check that out on my Peter Does Stuff channel. I wanted to read some meditations today, so it's getting late. It is currently 7:59, so I'm going to get in here quickly, and did I not bring my reading? Oh, I did. Here they are. Let's go in here and see November 25th. Let's see what these are about. November 25th, Awareness, and this is from The Language of Letting Go, which is a sister book to Codependent No More by Melody Beatty. Awareness, November 25th. When we first become aware of a problem, a situation, or a feeling, we may react with anxiety or fear. There is no need to fear awareness. No need. Awareness is the first step toward positive change and growth. It's the first step toward solving the problem or getting the need met. The first step toward the future. It's how we focus on the next lesson. Awareness is how life, the universe, and our higher power get our attention and prepare us for change. The process of becoming changed begins with awareness. Awareness, acceptance, and change, that's the cycle. We can accept the temporary discomfort from awareness because that's how we're moved to a better place. We can accept the temporary discomfort because we can trust God and ourselves. Today I will be grateful for any awareness I encounter. I will display gratitude, peace, and dignity when life gets my attention. I will remember that it's okay to accept the temporary discomfort from awareness because I can trust that it's my higher power moving me forward. I have talked a lot about awareness on this channel, and it's like I've known so many people that, like, in regards to like addiction, I have known so many people that have, they know that they have a problem with it, like substances, but maybe they're not at a point yet where they're willing to say, like, I'm an alcoholic or I'm an addict, or maybe they're not convinced of that, and I think that's very similar to other problems that we have, whether those are problems within ourselves or marital problems or family problems, it's like, maybe we're not at a point to do something about it, but to me, really, awareness is the first step of that. Awareness is when, we kind of like look at the picture sitting in front of us and we're like, aha. It's like an aha moment that whatever you're going through or whatever's happening to you right now doesn't have to be that way. It can change. Awareness has to occur before change occurs. It has to. Because if you're not aware that something is wrong, why would you change it? Unless you're forced to change it. And there's a lot of people that are like that. But the majority of people, are not forced to change things when we're just talking about, regular everyday situations. So it's like the awareness comes first. Have you ever had one of those moments where you're sitting there and you're thinking about stuff in your life and it's like, something's got to change. Like, I can't continue to go on the way that I'm going on anymore. I can't continue to do this, right? And that is awareness. Or awareness is when you have that anxiety or that fear that the meditation talked about. It's like the fear of things being different or, whatever. It's like, I've had that at so many points in my life where like back in the day, I was not somebody that loved change. Like, I literally could just have things be exactly the same as they were for the next 50 years. I would be completely fine with that. Today, I'm not that person, I will say, I wouldn't say I'm somebody that like loves and embraces change 100%, but I'm definitely much better than I was, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 years ago, where I would never, think of any possibility of how my life could look differently or be different. And I remember when I was working in treatment, and my supervisor said to me, she pulled me in and she said, I think I've told this story on here before, but we were changing like all of the family programming and stuff, and we were going after a model of Hazelden in Minnesota, and where their family program was set up. And it was a way for like, to get the families more involved in the programming, because when you talk about addiction, it's a family disease. So You look at systems and things like that, right? So she wanted to get more of the families involved. And so she did this whole thing where, like, if you were going to come for the visitation, the only way that you could visit with your family member was if you participated in the family program. And if you didn't participate in the family program, then you couldn't come for a visit. And originally, when I started there, our family days were just 1 day a week. And she moved it to 2 days a week with 2 different programming things that had to go on, that myself and my partner, she and I were going to have to be the ones doing this, which meant a lot more work from us, you know? And she looked at me and she said, I know this is a lot. I know you don't like change. She said, I'm asking you to not be resistant to this. She said, because I need you to kind of like lead everybody else, because everybody else is going to be looking at you because you're kind of like my, you know, cheerleader, so to speak. For our team. And if you go out there and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, whatever, she said everybody else is going to follow that. And I sat there in her office and I was like, we don't need to do that. I mean, I came up with 100 reasons why this was not going to work. And it was all selfish and self-centeredness. It was all things that were going to affect me because I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do anything different. I don't like change. I was completely fine with how we were doing things, you know? So she was, you know, I came up with this excuse, and this is stupid, and nobody's going to stay this late because it made us stay till like 10 o'clock on Thursday nights. And I was like, nobody's going to stay this late, and we're not going to want to do this, and we're not going to want to do that, and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, would you just trust me on this? Just go with it. And she was like, and if 6 months from now it doesn't work out, then we'll change it. We'll turn around and change it. I said, fine. And I was convinced we were going to be changing that thing in 6 months. You know what I mean? That ended up being my favorite part of my job. I loved the family program that we, you know, put together and that we worked on as a team. It was my favorite part. It ended up being the thing I loved the most. And I look back on that, you know, and I think that's a prime example for me that when I'm really, really resistant to change, that is maybe like a window opening saying, okay, you're about to go through something, so this is your awareness coming to you and saying, be prepared because something is about to change. Or you're being offered an opportunity for spiritual growth and change, and will you take it? And you know, like whenever I call my sponsor about something that I don't like, or I don't want to deal with, or, you know, I'm pissed about something or whatever. I don't ever say those words over here, but you know, I'm upset about whatever. And, especially if it's something where I have to change, you know, if there's something about me that I have to change and I'm aware of that, but I don't want to do it and I'm inconvenienced in some way, I'll say that to her. And she always says, she'll say, you know, like, well, this is an opportunity for spiritual growth. Are you going to choose to take it? And I'm like, I mean, some days I'm like, you know what, I'm not really in the place to, but I guess I will, you know? And then if I'm not, like, this is always the thing, like, if I'm not willing at that moment to look at that as an opportunity for spiritual growth, for me personally, because, you know, I believe in a higher power, I pray for willingness. Like, I don't have to pray, you know, on that specific situation. I can pray for the willingness. I can pray to hope that I'll be willing to look at it as spiritual growth, you know? Whenever I go through any kind of change, I only grow as a person. And even those changes that have been really difficult for me, you know, going from being somebody that had a mother to being motherless, that was probably one of the most profound changes I've ever gone through, other than maybe getting sober, you know, because that physically changed me as well. And, you know, I think about that, and I think, I mean, if I could have my mom back tomorrow, I talked about this on my vlog last night, you know, I would love for her to be back, obviously. You know, I miss my mother dearly. But at the same time, I've gained a lot by going through that experience because I was open to the pain. I was open to the spiritual growth of it. I didn't just stay stuck in it. I didn't just stay stuck in the denial, and that, you know, I allowed myself to grieve and move through it. And this is why I always talk about grieving, that it's about moving through it. It's not, you don't move on, you move through it, and you allow yourself to feel all those feelings and emotions and whatever. Well, every change that we go through in life, okay, whether it's moving from an apartment to a house, or a house to apartment, or one apartment to another, you know, moving, or changing jobs, or changing friends, or having a friend that moves away, or having a friend that moves back, or a romantic relationship ending, or all kinds of situations you can think of, you know, whatever we go through in our life, if there's a change that occurs, even if it's like losing weight, right? Like we grieve that. You know, we grieve the loss. It's like parents whose kids graduate from high school. You're grieving the loss of your child that you knew is now an adult, going off to college or working or whatever. They're going to move into their own place or whatever, you know? And I think that we don't allow ourselves to recognize that enough in our society, you know, that grieving is hard. And grieving is what happens after the awareness occurs before the change happens. You know what I mean? As we're changing, we're grieving because we're transitioning into this new world. And that's powerful. But you have to be open to that. Now, the language that I use is what my sponsor says to me. You know, this is an opportunity for spiritual growth. Are you open to that? Are you willing to take that or not? And I've chosen recently to be open to that because I've learned that I only grow from that. But it all starts with awareness, you know? And the awareness is what gives me something to go to her in the first place to talk about. So anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.